Hi guys, Nick from Chigwell here. Today we're in the Chigwell Performance Studio and I'm going to be explaining how to hit a punch shot. So if you struggle when you're offline, hit the ball in between the trees and you want to keep it low, this is a great video for you. Okay, in this situation here, we're on the first hole at Hazeltine, which is where they're going to be holding the Ryder Cup next year. So you may find one of the Americans or the Europeans in this situation. We're on the first hole and we've missed the fairway to the left. This hole is a slight dogleg right to left. And I've just overdone my drive, just pulled it slightly into the rough, and I have got about 150 yards to the green. I can't get over the trees and I don't really want to go out sideways because that sort of takes out birdie out of the equation and makes me a lot harder then to make the par. So I'm going to try and go for the green. And I think if I play the shot well enough, I can keep that low and let it run up towards the green. So I get asked this question quite a lot when I'm out on playing lessons. How do I play these recovery shots? So I'm just going to play a normal shot here. I've got a 6-iron, which has got 31 degrees of loft. Let's see what dynamic loft this gives us. Okay, so my first attempt there, straight into the trees with my 6-iron, which I find quite a lot of people do on the course. And so my loft at impact there was 24 degrees, so obviously a slight bit of forward shaft lean there, just brought down the dynamic off to sort of 24. Obviously that's a bit too high for the shot. So what I suggest you do is make a couple of changes in your setup. First one, all I did there was move the ball back in my stance a little bit more than normal. What that's going to help me do is keep the handle in front at impact. So I'm sort of de-lofting the club face. So I'm turning this 6-iron into more like a 3 or 4-iron just to get that launch a little bit lower. The other key thing I want to do is, as I swing through, I'm going to try and stop around here. The reason I do that is I'm delaying this club overtaking my left wrist, because the earlier I do that, it adds loft to the club face. So I'm going to try and stop about here and try and keep my wrist bowed as I go through, just to keep that club face loft down for as long as possible. I'm also going to hit it a little bit softer, so I'm not going to try and hit it as hard as I normally do. I'm using a 6-iron here for a reason. It's only 150 yards, so that's not normally how far I hit a 6-iron, but I'm going to hit it a little bit softer. I think it's going to be easier to keep it down. I'm using a lot, obviously, as low loft as I want to. I think a 5-iron will be probably a bit too low here. It'll probably run through the back of the green, so I think 6-iron is a good choice, and I think I can keep it under these trees. So I'm going to play the ball back. I'm going to have a short finish. Try not to let that wrist cup, so I add loft to the club face. Just one thing to bear in mind is when you play the ball back in the stance, it's going to make you hit a little bit more from in to out. So I would expect a little bit more right to left curve on this shot. So I'm going to try and factor that in. So even though I'm de-lofting the club face, I'm still going to have it slightly open to the target. So I want that ball to start a little bit to the right, because I expect it to sort of come round to the left slightly as it draws round. So ball back in the stance, slightly softer swing than normal. No overtaking of the wrist on the finish. Let's see if I can get this on the green. Okay, much lower. Bounce on the front there. Good, so I've hit the green. So obviously in that situation there, I was very pleased with that. I see a lot of people out on the course. We hit sort of the middle of the tree. So that loft at impact there was 13. Compared to 24 with my normal shot. So you can see I've really added in that extra amount of shaft lean just to keep that ball flight down. You saw there how much lower the flight was as it went under the trees. So I hope that helps. I'll practice that at the range if you can. Take out a 6-iron or a 7-iron and just practice hitting a normal shot, then a punch, and seeing the difference in the ball flight. Obviously you have to bear in mind that generally with the low ball flight it might start to run on a little bit more. So give that a go at the range, let me know how you get on. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again soon.